Hey, Bleedbigblue. Tim from the podcast. Just wanted to come talk to you guys. We had our first game. Jacksonville came to our house, and they gave us the L. But I'm gonna tell you right now. I know it was a tough game, but Jacksonville's a tough team. I definitely saw some positives going into this season, as long as we can keep, growing on those positives. And we're going to talk about some of them, and we're going to talk about some of the negatives as well, because this is the list of glory and the list of shame video. So let's start it off. List of glory, number 1. Let's get it out of the way. The one and only Saquon Barkley. You proved me wrong. I mean, honestly, I was not a huge fan, but you definitely impressed me with the way you played. Do I see some stuff you can improve on? Yes. Sometimes you got to be able to take that short yardage play instead of always looking to cut it big. But I definitely see you got that drive. I mean, hey, you had 106, a touchdown, and 2 catches for 222. And obviously the huge 68-yard touchdown against a Jacksonville defense who's arguably one of the best in the league, or probably top 3, if not the best. Now, that's very impressive. I like where you're going with this. Just keep adding on this. You got to get that chemistry down with that offensive line. I see that you fade back and you look for the hole. You don't necessarily dart right into it. Little Le'Veon Bell-esque, and I like what I'm seeing. So Saquon Barkley, hey, props to you, and I hope you continue to be on this list. Welcome to the list of glory. Number 2 on my list of glory, I gotta say, is welcome back, Odell Beckham Jr.
You just made the list.
You had a great game. I mean, honestly, you had a solid game. Could you have scored touchdowns? Sure. But let's be honest, they were bracketing you. But for 11 catches for 111, when, all the talk was about them trying to shut you down, I think that was pretty solid. Again, against a great Jags defense. Especially with your first game back. And, how much chemistry can you get in non-game action? And that's why I think this offense is going to look a whole lot better going into the future, because if you guys think about it, this is the full squad has been together in games in quite a while. So, let them build on this. And it was a good test. I wish we won the game. We definitely had a chance to do that. But, hey, it is what it is. We can build on this. We just go on to week 2. Number 3 on my list of glory. I mean, I think the whole Bleedbigblue cast has given this kid hell. And so I'm going to definitely, when you do something good, I'm going to definitely tell you about it. Number 3 is Aldrick Rosas. I know I'm not usually big on putting a kicker on the lists, but you were 3 for 3. I mean, you did what we asked you to do, and that's that's all you can do, and that's what I expect out of my kicker is, when we need you, just be there. So good job for being 3 for 3, and props to you for making the list of glory. I want to, before I get into the list of shame, I want to give a little honorable mention, I guess, for my list of glory. Is I want to give a shout out to Kerry Wynn. Kerry Wynn, you played your ass off all preseason, and it looked like it paid off. You making pressures, you were around the ball a lot, and I just want you to know I saw you. So good job, Kerry Wynn. Now the list of shame, which the funny thing is, guys, I didn't see as many negatives in this game as most of our losses, especially last year. but there was definitely some. We're going to start off with number one on all our hearts and all our minds is Eric Flowers. I don't like picking on you, but you know what? 2 big penalties to start off the first drive of the season. You know, giving up a sack because of the pressure that was on you. It's debatable, but that fluke interception, that pick 6 to Miles Jack was probably a lot of your fault. And that sucks because I really think you have talent. I don't know if it's ever going to, you know, be seen as a giant, but you need to step it up. You know, I did see you have some good blocks, you know, later, but you need to play better. I know it was a huge test today, especially against like Calais Campbell, who's a monster. But like I said, you need to play better. And I think you can, and I hope you do. Number 2 on my list is Shane. And I was going back and forth and putting him on this. But, you know what, there's things that bothered me, and I'm going to tell you, Landon Collins, you're on my list of shame. You had some missed assignments that, you know, led to big plays. Like you running up into the box when you shouldn't have, and you know, on the touchdown play to the running to T.J. Yeldon, you should have been on the coverage. You got caught looking into the backfield. You know what? And you're supposed to be one of our veteran leaders. You're on a contract year. I personally love you as being a giant, but you need to step it up, because if you want the money that you're expected, you need to play a whole lot better than you did this game. I think they need, if you're gonna be a captain, let's see it. Let's get back to a couple years ago when you were almost defensive MVP. Now, I was going back and forth on 2 different people, but I'm gonna give somebody the benefit of the doubt. But number 3 on my list is going to be Kalen Clay. You fumbled the punt return to they, you know, would have gave us at least a possibility of winning this game. Now, would it have happened? Who knows? Probably not. You know, we had a lot of factors going against us. No timeouts, not a whole lot of time, but you fumbled the ball. And my problem with that is you came in, you know, we waived people and brought you in specifically for that talent of returning kicks. And the first game you play with us, you're going to have a fumble. You know, that doesn't sit well with me. So, shame on you, Kalen Clay. You made the list of shame. Now, since we had an honorable mention in the list of glory, I'm gonna have a little dishonorable mention on the list of shame. Patrick Shermer. Now, here's the deal, Shermer. I think you called a good game. I just have a problem with the bad 2-point conversion call. This is my problem with it. Saquon just got done running a 68-yard play. And not only does he get no rest, you leave him in there to just try to run over, you know, pretty much run over 2 guys. With Evan Ingram in front of him, which isn't, you know, the best blocking tight end anyway. I don't really have a huge problem with the call, but how you expected Saquon to give his full effort when he literally just got done running a 68-yarder? Most guys are grabbing oxygen at that point. I think we should have been with a different option. If we hit the 2-point conversion, it could have been a whole different game. But, hey, you know what? I'm just splitting hairs at this point. An L's an L. And you know what? We just want to turn that L into a W next week. And that's all I'm waiting for. So, guys, leave your comments. Do what you got to do. I want to hear your lists. You know, who stepped it up, who didn't. I know you guys are pissed a little bit, but hey, look at the positives. Don't get caught up in the, you know, the loss. Get caught up in the fact that we're we're moving forward. We actually have a running game. Eli looks comfortable back there having a running game, and we're playing we're not going to be playing the Jags every week. So, look forward to that. Well, I bleed big blue. Always.